Hi friends, this is Miss G. I'm so excited. Here's Tuesday. Here we go. There's a lot to do in this lesson, so let's just get right to it. Miss G's going to try to make it quick, but we got a lot to do today. So first, let's go over our sight words, the ones we've done before, and then I'll introduce the new one, okay? So our last one, F-O-R, for. And now while Miss G's saying it, I want you to echo back each letter and say the word together like we did in class, okay? A-S, as. A-S, as. Very good. So remember, Miss G saying the letter, you echo back, and then we echo together, okay? A-R-E-R. B-Y, by. F-R-O-M, from. One more time because that's a long one. F-R-O-M, from. Very good. Our new sight word today is the word his. His. Remember, echo Miss G. H-I-S, his. One more time. H-I-S, his. Very good. Can you think of a sentence with the word his? Well, Miss G thought of some, and I'll show you now. Now remember, you don't have to write the sentence if you don't want to, but this will help you remember what the word his means and how to use it in a sentence. So here we go. Conscious helped his brother with homework. Now, Conscious, maybe you don't help your brother. I know he's a little bit older, but so what? You might be able to help him. You never know. So Conscious helped his brother with homework. His brother. So notice that it's not just any brother. It's his brother. It's showing possession, right? So instead of saying Conscious again, Conscious's brother, we just use the word his brother. Whose brother? Conscious brother. Let's try this. Cartier asked his mommy for a toy. Cartier asked his mommy for a toy. Again, notice that his mommy. Whose mommy? Is it my mommy? No. Is it your mommy? No. Unless you're Cartier, then if you're Cartier, it's his mommy. That means that she is his, okay? So just remember, every time you use the word his, it belongs to something, okay? Alrighty, friends. So now what we're going to do is go back to our wonders, because there were a few wonders that Miss Maynard said and Miss G said, and we didn't get to answer in our last lesson. So let's go back and let's go to our wonders. So the first wonder, the one Miss Maynard said, was, how does fire and oil make light? So at home you can try to answer. But basically what Miss G found is that for a lamp, in the past, they would use lamps, and they would use oil, a wick, which is kind of like a string, and fire, and that would make light. So in the past, that's what they used. They didn't have light bulbs. They didn't have those kind of things. And I can show you in this video here really fast. This woman is showing how in the past they used to use oil lamps.
And allow your wick to soak up the fuel for 1 hour.
So you can see she has a wick. That's that white part down here, okay? It's in oil. And then she puts it under the oil lamp. And then she uses flames
and then light it.
to light it. So it's a combination of oil, a wick, and fire. And that is the way they used to use light. That's the only way they had light in the past. So Miss G's question, Miss G's wonder was, where does electricity come from? So now we know in the past they used to use fire and oil to light up the house. Now we use electricity. And Miss G found another video that can help us understand.
Have you ever wondered how energy gets to your home? What happens before you flip that light switch or turn on that video game that allows you to have energy whenever you want it? All the poles and wires you see along the streets and in front of your house help move the electricity to your home. Those wires connect your home to the power plants. Electricity has to travel a long way to get to your house. In fact, the power plant where your electricity is made might be hundreds of miles away. And the natural gas that heats your home works in a similar way. The gas meter and line that connects your home to natural gas travels through pipelines underground to a city gate and then continues on long distances to a refinery where it is made.
So that went into a different thing, how heat gets into your house. But for now, I'll leave a link for that video if you guys want to check it out after Miss G's. But basically, electricity comes from a power plant. They use coal, they use sometimes solar electricity like the sun, any way they can get energy. And then with that energy, it travels in the wires, like you saw, into your house. And that's how you can light a lamp. That's how you can light different things, okay? So we have our answers for our wonders. Now let's get into our class today. So our class today is, what is a main topic? At home, you might remember. Even if you don't, that's okay. But Miss G's gonna jog your memory because remember this, friends?
The main idea is what the story's mostly about. The main idea is what the story's mostly about.
The main idea is what the story's mostly about. So that is what we're talking about today. We're going to find out the main idea in our text, and then we're going to use key details to explain it. Now, what are key details, right? You might be saying, Miss G, I don't remember what that means. That's okay. Key details are the pictures and the words that come together to make us understand what the story's mostly about. It helps us with the main idea, okay? So now what we're going to do is go into our text, okay? We're going back to this text, if you might remember from in school, then, and now. So what we're going to do is look at the pictures, listen to the words, and figure out what the main idea is about, okay? We go to school to learn and see friends. Ooh, let me get in the camera there so you guys can see. Schools have changed over time. So you can see in those two pictures things have changed. Long ago, children had to walk many miles to school. Now children take buses to school. So Miss G is going to listen to those words. I remember those words, but I'm going to look at the picture too. So if I just looked at the pictures and didn't look at the words, it kind of looks like there's kids here, right? There's kids here and they're walking probably to school because the title of our text was School Then and Now. And then I see a school bus on this side. And usually in a school bus, there's kids going to school, right? So I think what is showing me that this is the past. And I can probably get that this is the past also by the color of the photo. Who remembers that? The color of the photo is black and white. So that means it's in the past. This is present because it's in color. So now I know these pages are telling me that was in the past. We used to walk to school, and now we could take a bus. And let's go on to the next page. Long ago, schools had only one room. Now schools are large buildings with many rooms. Remember that? Look at those pictures. So I want you thinking about that now. Long ago, schools were only in one room and people had to walk. Now we don't have to walk and we have more than one room. Long ago, children in your class were many ages, and we talked about this before too. Look, didn't matter if you were in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, you all learned in the same room. In the past, everyone learned the same thing. Didn't matter how old you were. Now, children in your class are all the same age. So, yes, you guys might be 5, might be 6, might be older, sometimes 7. That's okay. But you will not see a friend that's 10 in your kindergarten class. You will not see a friend that's 12 in your kindergarten class. But in the past, we had many different ages, okay? So thinking of all those details, they talked about different things in the past and different things now. What do you think the main idea is in our text? I want you to really think about it. And now what Miss G is going to do is look at our chart to maybe help us. So we go to our chart here. Long ago, kids walked to school. Now we take the bus. Long ago, school was just in one room, and now we have many rooms for school. Long ago, kids were all these different ages and all went to the same school. Now we're all basically the same age. So if you keep thinking about that, before and now, what would this story mostly about? What's the main idea about? Ding, ding, ding. Maybe you guessed it, maybe you didn't, but that's okay. Our main topic for our story, using the details in the story, the pictures that were in the story, the words that were in our text, it tells us that school has changed over time. So that's the main idea of our text. School has changed over time, okay? Now, we're going to get into it because soon we're going to start writing, right? But it's going to be a different kind of writing. It's going to be informative writing. Now, does anyone know what that means? Informative. That's a long word. That's a tricky word. Informative. Informative means information. It means it's teaching you something, right? Learning about a topic. So now, what do you think informational text means? We know a text is a book, right? This is a text. This is not a text. Remember, a text is a book. This is a text. This is not a text. Okay? Informational text means something you learn from, a book that you learn from. Okay? So in an informational text, it's real. These things really happen, and it really happens to people when you see real things, okay? So is Three Little Pigs informational text? Probably not, right? Because the Three Little Pigs is about 3 pigs who talk, about a wolf that talks, about them building houses. So it's not really real. We call that a storybook. A book that's not real, we call it a storybook. So we have informational text and a storybook, okay? So My 5 Senses, remember that book? My 5 Senses with the kids, and they showed pictures of the kids and they showed the different things they use for their senses. That would be informational, okay? Because it's teaching you about the 5 senses. And were those real kids? Yeah, they were real kids. So let's try a different one. Here's a book that I hope to read to you guys one day because I love this book. It's called The Grumpy Bird. Do you think this is a storybook or informational? Well, I'm going to look at the picture. So I'm looking at the picture and it's a drawing. Is that real? No, it's not real. Could a bird be grumpy? Could it have feelings like humans do? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I do know that this doesn't look real to me. So this must be a storybook. What about our text then and now? Is this informational or a storybook? This is informational because you can see real pictures of real kids doing real things. So this is informational. This is a storybook. And you're like, why, Miss G, are you telling me all about this? I'll tell you why. Because we are going to write an informational paragraph. What does that mean, Miss G? Let me tell you. An informational paragraph is the same thing as an informative text. It's the same thing that we were talking about before. You're going to be writing a sentence to explain something, to teach us something. Your sentences are going to teach us something, okay? We'll talk about it more later, but for now, just remember, we are going to be writing something to teach, to learn, okay? Not just about the pink cat like our storybook or like the blue dog or the rainbow goat. This time, it's going to be actual things we're talking about, okay? It's called an informative paragraph. Can you say that with me? Informative paragraph. Very good. Now, the way you're going to start it, remember, Miss G said there was a lot in this lesson, okay? And it's okay. The way we're going to start it, and I'll be going over this again, so please, please, please do not get upset and stay tuned for the shout outs. The way we're going to start our informational text is something called a topic statement. So you're looking at a sandwich right now, like, huh? What does that have to do anything? This is so that you can remember how an informative text works. This means at the top, your very first sentence is going to be a topic statement. It is the point of the sandwich, right? Like you start or end your sandwich with the top here, okay? So the topic statement is what's going to tell us about everything that's inside the sandwich. And you're probably like, what's going on, Miss G? It doesn't make sense. It's okay. Miss G is going to explain it more later and go on to the next things. But for now, what you need to remember is that an informative paragraph teaches, okay? Teaches. That's what we're going to learn about. So, last but not least, shout outs. Let's do our shout outs really quick. So, remember we were writing about Cynthia and us. So, our first shout out of this week or today, Monday or Tuesday, Tuesday is Skyla. Skyla wrote about Cynthia's school and church in one building. And now we have separate. And look at this drawing. What a great drawing. Look at the details. Look at all the labels. Great job, Skyla. Next up, we have Diane. Diane talked about Cynthia in a tin tub and now us taking a bath in a regular bathtub. And you can see Diane's is a little different. She used a marker to write hers, and that's okay. I like both versions, friends, because here I can see Diane did everything she needed to do. Maybe she did in color, and that's okay, but she did all the checks. All the checks. Coloring is optional, friends. If you want to color, great. If not, that's okay. But she drew and labeled and wrote her 2 sentences. Great job, Diane. Next up, we have Ariana. Ariana was talking about swimming. Swimming when we used to swim in a hole, or Cynthia used to swim in the hole, and now us swimming in a swimming pool. And here's Ariana swimming in a swimming pool. I love the colors, Ariana. Great job. Last but not least, we have Daha. Hey, Daha. He put that he was swimming in the pool, so that is one of the sentences that we had to write about what you do when you're in a pool. Great job, Daha. Okay, friends, there you go. Those are our shout outs. If you didn't get shout out this week, it's okay. Miss G will make a shout out tomorrow, okay? Have a great day. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.